Okay, I guess we'll call this take two. And the reason we're gonna call it take two is because I just went through a take one and the thing didn't film. So we'll try a take two. That was a waste of time. But actually, it's never a waste of time, all right, because I'm always playing. You guys have reached the Jeff Indike Drum Education Show. I'm really, really glad to be here. I may come off a camera just to check to see if this thing is still working in between takes. But I wanted to tell you that I'm really, really honored to be here. It's a fantastic honor. If you guys are interested in speaking to me, possibly studying, talking drums, philosophizing, you guys can always call me at area code 516-263-9782. You guys can email me at jindyke54@gmail.com. That's a new email. If you want to spread the word, the drumprofessor@gmail.com is no longer a valid email address. If you want to hear some of the earlier work that I'm doing, youtube.com/Jeff Indike Drums. That's one of my channels. You can also just type in Jeff Indike, and that's all new stuff that I'm working on. And the other thing that I wanted to tell you is that you can go on SoundCloud.com. I said that already. SoundCloud.com/Jeff Indike Drums. And having trouble thinking this morning. And ReverbNation.com, Jeff Indike. And I'm playing to Kaz Rodriguez's music. And I'm going to start off first by checking to see whether or not this thing is still recording. Yeah, it looks like we're okay. All right, well, something probably happened, Sometimes these cameras, they shut themselves off. I don't know why. Before I go on and I play, I want to tell you guys again that I'm performing today the Kaz Rodriguez compositions. There are going to be a lot of them. I have a playlist of around 41. If you guys become friends with me, and you get my email address I'd be more than happy to email you my list of the Kaz Rodriguez playlist that I created. It took around about a year and a half to actually create, which is really, really exciting. Started off with just a couple of compositions. I told the story already, but I'll tell it again. The manager of Sam Ash, at the time before Sam Ash went out of business, unfortunately, which is really a drag, Ryan, and I knew this guy was like a serious drummer, and he turned me on to Kaz Rodriguez. He says, you gotta check this guy out, and I started playing to his stuff, and I was returning to drumming, and I needed to write music to play to that wasn't my own, because I thought it would be better if I kind of did covers of other people's material, and that's how it materialized. Let me get into playing. I'm not in a talkative mood right now, and I don't have time to basically get all these compositions in. So I'm gonna redo this. This is actually take two. I'm actually doing this for the second time, and this first composition is called Raga, and the thing that I like about it is it's like a 4/4 kind of feel, almost kind of like a rockin' type of a thing. And let's see what materializes. Now, I might check the camera. I'm gonna check the camera one more time. Sorry about that, but I just want to make sure we're still filming. Yeah, I think we're gonna be okay. Something happened, it turned itself off. Why it turned itself off, I don't know. Only God knows. So here we go with Raga. I wonder what Raga means. I never had the pleasure to meet Kaz, I'll have to ask him if I ever meet him. I'm sure he's probably an amazing character. Here we go with Raga.
Joe's air conditioner backed up and flooded his house. In just a few days, he noticed spots on his walls.
Stupid commercials. But YouTube is like that. Here we go. Raga. Interesting. One of the things I read about Kaz's music, right, which is so fantastic. Again, I just want to make a real quick check just to make sure, right, that the film is still working. Yeah, it looks like we're okay. I think, right, what happened, this happened to Red a couple of times before, where I'll turn the camera on and it'll shut itself off for some reason. As Tom Cruise once said, it's one of life's mysteries. You never know, right, what caused that sort of thing. Could have been some Klingons in the air, maybe, I don't know. But, yeah, you'll notice about the thing, right, that I like the most about Kaz's music is I can kind of like solo over it. And that's why I thought about his music was really, really great for me to play to, because you can improvise, you can kind of create like different feelings over the music. Different solos, different rudimental type things, just because Kaz's music is not full of a lot of melodies. It's definitely not commercial. So you can really, have fun with it. Now, the next composition, I have a playlist here, is actually called Storm. And the thing I like about this composition is it's in a 7 meter. You could probably call it 7/8. I would probably call it 7/8. It's called Storm, and it's a really, really good composition.
Honestly, I'm just here for the
Now,
AT&T
honestly,
Business
right,
Internet.
I think I'd
It's
like you
super
to-
fast.
to-
I downloaded 8.
Shut up. All right, here we go. Notice the 7. Now I'm close to hearing. There's something wrong with the volume. It's not loud enough. Here we go. I like his breakdowns. Okay, I didn't really get that ending around as good as I would have liked to, but
No problem, we have.
as they say, it happens. It happens in show business. Okay. But again, you'll notice, right, I'm out of loss for consistency today. In other words, right, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just kind of, right, attempting to kind of like play through the ideas. It's not the greatest playing day today. But I think, right, the first take was better. Want to check one more thing, all right? And I'm really apologizing, all right, for this. You guys are right, going, all right, where's the guy going? He's going to the back of the camera to make sure that it's still working. Yeah, we're okay, we're okay. Again, all right, this happens sometimes on cameras. Okay, so anyway, so you'll notice all right, the 7. Very important suggestion, you know, as an educator and as an instructor over the years, I'll give you a little commentary on odd time. Really, really important, right, to learn to play, right, in 7 meters and 6 meters and 5 meters. And, you know, if you check out, right, some of the great classic bands, right, like Rush, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Genesis, the Mahavishnu Orchestra, right, was probably the original Mahavishnu Orchestra with John McLaughlin and Billy Cobham and Jan Hammer, Jerry Goodman, and Rick Lard. That band, right, I mean, you want to talk about odd times, right, that stuff, right, was unbelievable. I mean, they've, just unbelievable, really, really incredible. And that's what I like about Kaz's music. And my music has, right, a lot of odd times in it as well. I love this Simmons kit, you know, I love the feeling of the snare drum. You get sounds on the rims, and that's like really cool, because sometimes I like to get a little bit percussive, I would say. Okay, let me do the next one, which is actually called Oceans. And let's see right what materializes with this. This is called Oceans. And again, I apologize right for my backbeat to you guys, but it's the way that it goes. Oceans. Again, here we go. On this thing. I've been playing this thing around for over a year and a half already. And I still can't figure out what I want to do. So I'm gonna wing it. I'm gonna fake it. It's close enough for jazz. we're gonna finish up all right with the root. So yeah, so this will enable me right to basically do, actually, 1, 2, 3, 4 compositions, yeah. And the root is in 4/4, so let me get right to this. If I can find it. Yeah, this is nice. This is called the root, and nice little attitude to this. It's sort of like a lazy man's 4.
You can use the skullet for whatever you need,
Here we
Dory.
go. This is really nice. So give me a chance to write the kind of groove more in a 4/4 kind of here. Write this break down.
When you get fast, reliable,
Let me kill this thing. Okay, so that worked out well. Take 2. Okay, it's about 11:09, all right, I'm probably gonna have some time to do some other things today. Again, I hope you enjoyed the way that I played. It's sporadic, it's improvisation, it's close enough for jazz, as they always said. And as Bill Bruford once said, when in doubt, roll. I like that, when in doubt, roll. You guys can contact me if you're interested in studying, talking drums, have any questions to write about anything, at area code 516-263-9782, Philosophy on a Stick. And you guys already can email me at jindyke54@gmail.com. If you go on YouTube and you type in youtube.com/Jeff Van Dyke Drums, you'll come to a small little channel. Those were done about a while ago. Then I read, of course, right, there's youtube.com/Drum TV Show, which, by the way, I dedicate to the late, great Danny Britt, who unfortunately has passed away way too soon, probably about 2 or 3 months ago. And if it wasn't for Danny, I wouldn't be on YouTube. So I really miss Danny. You know, I miss our talks together, about how everybody's flipping out over the YouTube thing. You can catch a lot of my segments. You can hear some of my music, my own original music, and I'm going to be playing a lot more of my original music. SoundCloud.com/Jeff Van Dyke Drums, ReverbNation.com/Jeff Van Dyke Drums. You can also catch, well, I'm working on Spreaker, but you can always check out my website too, jeffvandyke.com. Though right now, it's kind of dormant, I'm kind of reorganizing things. I'm eventually going to have things that you could eventually download up there. But for now, just keep an eye on my new channel, because my new channel is sort of my comeback to the drum world. So anyway, take two. Take two's or sometimes better than take ones. Who knows? It's one of life's mysteries. But anyway, really, really glad to be here. Jeff Van Dyke Drum Education Show coming at you. Thank you, Public Access, for inviting me up to wherever I am being aired. And peace and good wishes. And thank you very, very much. Now I'm going to push the button. And I recorded the whole thing. Thank you. Beam me up, Scotty.